Okay, so for current PA, like I'm currently watching this hold here. I actually wasn't paying attention here, but there was a decent short setup in the making here. We could have tried to short this SFE. Obviously, it's into a void here, and then try to like short on an SFP here. Maybe get an entry over here because we fill this void here, and then try to TP either this FPG or maybe get another entry around here somewhere. Obviously, on some sort of rejection, where it just confirms you that okay, it's starting to trend down, and then it should at least go to this POI. As for the yesterday's PA, it was very trendy. I think we had a session around here, maybe. I think we had a session. I believe we were talking
Yeah, right
around
there, right there.
around here, yeah. And then I think I have posted on the Twitter and other charts as well. I could show you what was the reason of the pump, right? I think we talked about this already. Like we had an FPG here. We had very a very clean setup that I think I have mentioned here. This is the ranges one. Yeah, I talked about this yesterday as well. So the thing that really just happened here was just we were simply just mirroring this, which I obviously mentioned yesterday as well. So we had like a lower POIs just sitting, and then we kept rejecting from the range mid, which was obviously the POI here, the POC. And then we came back and then we started to deviate this range value area low, break down it, and then go to that POI. But we just tapped that POI and then just bounce off it. I was expecting if we would fill that NPOC that's sitting there and then actually form some sort of low and then create a bottom, but I think it just got front run. But then again, we mentioned like if price was to come back into this range value area low, it's likely if it starts to hold, then it's gonna be rotating to POC and above POC, just a reclaim above POC. I think we talked in depth about what that was just yesterday. If we go above the POC, then we're likely going to value area high. And above the value area high, that just means everybody shorting around these lows and below range POC have been caught upside. And it's likely they're gonna be that price is gonna be trending much higher. Wait, did somebody mention me? Okay, and then we could go over the lower time frame. I think I could just show you a simple view of what it looked like on the USDT T-Rev, right? So there was a divergence here as well, and the divergence was fairly noticeable. I Wait, let me use the pen tool here to show you like first of all we were obviously trending down here and we were trending into a POI. First of all, like obviously I told you like T-Rev you can use as trend boxes, then there's like deviation below them, and then there's obviously deviation that you see, then you have to again trade that like long here on a reclaim, and then if you see breakout, long there again. And then what actually happened here was just we came back into the range that was previously formed, but we did not break it. Again, same AMT rules, and then we got back up. And then the major thing that was happening here was a very little divergence, just PA. I mean, if you go on the lower time frame, CVD may have gone a bit lower, but according to the move here, like this here is a very sharp decline, but in CVD it was barely a move like that. So that was indication of lack of participants, more like people weren't shorting much. And then after that it was just clean follow up from here. So after we bounced from that POI, the main important thing was here that we were just trending higher, like we have a short POI here. We were just trending like this. Either we were trending like this, like, or we were trending with specific candles like this, right? So it was a very like 45-degree incline above here, and then we kept doing that again into every short POI, which was obviously the best trigger that you could get. Again, I have mentioned before that if extremes don't matter as much as lower time frame trend does. So if a lower time frame trend into some sort of POI is not like according to the way you want it, then you have to trade that instead of thinking about the POI and the extreme. And that's basically what was mainly happening all the time the other day. So I could show you an example on 1 minute and my long as well. Wait. So we came into this first of all, like we had first of all this POI here. Like we can assume like this FVG as our POI. I think I shorted this. Yeah, I shorted this one for a scalp, and my TP was here, which hit full TP, but unfortunately I couldn't get a bigger position around here because I wasn't monitoring. But then again, we're talking about short POI. So again, price came to the short POI, but you have no sort of follow up on that POI, which I talked. I think it was Nick's mainly grading system that I showed you guys, right? So if it doesn't, the importance of the extreme, the FVG or order block is not as much as the lower time frame trend, right? So if price comes into a POI, this FVG can be counted as a POI. So if price comes into POI, but it does not trend down or it does not reject or create some sort of distribution, then you should not be trading that POI at all. And then what we were doing here was just trending up, and then we had no breakdown, like trending up here, keep making higher highs, and then we got back into the range value area low. So we got into the range value area low here, got some sort of reaction here, but then we began to break down here again. Now this was somewhat of a retest, but I mean you could like try to short this, but again it wasn't much of a clear rejection, because a clear rejection would be if we would have some sort of follow up here and then we come back into this specific high. Wait, let me delete this here. So if we were to come back into, let me mark this here. So if we were to come back into this specific high and break down one more time, then we could have gone for a short to this POI obviously. But we looks like we just did a retest here, and then this whole area of people trying to short, thinking that it was a breakdown again, we're again just caught offside. And again, let's just assume this is a short POI. The only thing that was happening was price was coming into short POI, and there was like, first of all, let's just assume this is an initial reaction. Like I don't try to short the initial reaction unless it's been a continuous trend down, right? So I don't try to short the initial reaction unless it's a very trendy move downwards. But this really wasn't that type of move. We were just trending up, and then we came into the short POI here, right? But then after that initial rejection, you can see that these type of candles, which I think Witcher and others ask me why I give importance to these type of candles, right? So I could, let me clear this and explain a bit more on the candles. Just by watching PA, right? Like I could go to Oriflow, I could explain a bit more there, but just by watching PA, that you can understand that these type of candles where there's like rejection, but again it's into an FEG, and then there is no follow-up, which just looks like this, where there's a bullish candle that's made. Let's assume this is a bullish candle, and then price goes up, it rejects, it goes up, it rejects, but it does not break the low of that bullish candle. It can be weak as well. It does not break the low of the bullish candle, and it keeps on making more bullish candles even after rejecting, and then that starts to look like somewhat slow grind. So this is a 1 minute chart, right? But if you go to the 15-second here, 15-second chart looks much more like this, a very clean slow grind, or a 45-degree move upwards, which again qualifies as a slow grind, a series of higher highs, higher lows. And then again, you do not want to fade a move like this, which is simply just strength showing to you. And and I think it's exactly what has happened at all POIs. Rejection here, and then I think there wasn't a POI at this level, But again, you can see this line here, I think is the range POC that I marked. And then as you can see, like we come around, there should be a POI. Let me see. Oh yeah, there's a POI. There is a big POI. I think everybody was talking about it. So this whole level here, I could mark this here actually. So this order block we reject off of that, then this POI, and then we can mark this as well as a whole order block. And then the only thing that we're doing is we're coming into that short POI, and then we're simply not breaking down, right? We come here and then we reject, we start to form an initial low. After the initial low is made, you can assume that okay, a high and a low is made on the lower time frame. Now we can start to assume what type of positioning, either distribution or accumulation is about to happen. So if it starts to trend up and then it comes back, again, to short a distribution, you need to at least wait for a breakdown, right? If you're shorting at a higher low or shorting without confirmation, then you have to have some sort of external edge to be accurate at it. And if you don't, then obviously wait for the break structure, which again, I told you, like a bullish candle forms, like this one here, perfect example, and then another bullish candle that supports it, we just starts to look like a higher low. And again, if you go to the lower time frame, even lower than this, you're gonna see that this looks like a very clean series of higher highs and higher lows, which again is lower time frame trend, which I told you again, um, mentioned in the, I think the second last session that we did, I talked about grading system, where it doesn't matter again, like if you have a rejection POI and an FVG or maybe an order block, like these three examples we take, it doesn't matter if price comes into that. The one thing that matters is how price reacts after that, and you can assume the reaction by just watching the lower time frame trend. And again, this here is an example of lower time frame trend. And then again, reclaimed above the range POC level. The range POC is around here, 51.8 something, I think. And then the only thing we are doing again here is, let me clear this here. We're again continuing the momentum here, which again is, again, I told you this is the 1 minute chart. What chart is, I could show you here as well. This is the 1 minute chart, right? So if you go to the 15-second or the lower time frame chart, you're gonna see that this here, this PA, it looks something like this, which again is a series of higher highs, higher lows, which again just qualifies for a bullish trend. And obviously on the 1 minute looks like a series of momentum and bullish candles, right? But again, we are just basing the trades off of the lower time frame trend, where again, if you consider that and analyze that through order flow perspective, that just means it's an insane amount of bid that is coming in, and there's a lot of sellers that keep getting their limit sells in, but the market bid just outbids them, and it forms a series of, again, a higher high, higher low, a lower time frame uptrend. Which again, I think I longed around here, 51.9. Again, watching the same, well, with the same reason that I've just explained, my long was around here, and my initial TP was around the range value area high, which it hit very, very quick. But after that, like this first rejection here, again, I think people need to be understanding more of this concept, right? I think I pinned it here. It's a bit easy to say, but where is it? Yeah, it's just the more price moves, the less you think, the more you ape, right? So it's like the more price trends, the less you should think about, hey, what's gonna price do, what the price is gonna do when it comes here. Is it gonna reject? Is it gonna form a distribution? Is it gonna do something? Is it really gonna hold this low? The less you should think, and the more you should ape, the more you should be more focused on the trend uh, analyzation of it, and then you should just take the trade and then just keep trading the trend until it breaks, because again, the RR and the win rate is so good that even if you're like taking one long here, another here, then like, and TPing at every other high, what's the worst that could happen? And then you could take another long here, right? So, but this time it rejects off of that PY, and then it takes your stop. But then you got like a 3 to 5 W there, and then after you got the stop, you know that okay, the trend is now about to be exhausted, and it's now going to retrace that momentum, right? So you're taking five to six Ws for one L, but even that L can be avoided, obviously, by watching rejection. And that this here is a very good strategy if you just deem it by understanding that obviously after taking a lot of W's, there will obviously be an L, and obviously which can also be avoided if you paid more attention to it. And then after we have broken the first low, we have broken structure. Now you know that okay, you can be more safe on the short side, and then wait till there's like a hold of some sort of lows or PY from before. And then the only thing that was happening was again we got a rejection here, but no follow-up on this rejection again. We just instantly retrace that, and then we continue to do the higher high, higher low, and the slow grind up setup again. Again, like I told you, a bullish candle forms and it starts to act as a low. This is very lower time frame, right? 1 minute. Usually this happens around 5 minute, 3 minute. But again, this was a volatile move. And in volatile moves, you gotta be fast and be more reactive, even based on very, very lower time frame scale of trading. So that's why you need to be much better at lower time frame, like 1 minute, 30 second, 15 second, and just analyze how quick price can move in a volatile session. And then again, the candles start to form a series of again a trend, which you can just keep longing, keep longing. Maybe put your stops a bit wider, just in case it comes here and then it holds this low gain instead of like having a very tight stop, and then it pumps again, right? So you can easily trade a trend like this, which again is just the more price moves, the market does the job for you, and it's just that easy to trade the trend, which I don't know why most people don't understand. Again, this here, I think we exhausted a bit, but this was much clean as well. We filled our POI. We keep trending higher. We come into again a short POI rejection. You for a scalp based rejection, you could have obviously traded that, but again, the overall trend is still intact and it's still trending higher. We come again, we fill another POI, and then we do multiple break structures, and then there's again a follow up, and then a big move up right afterwards, which again is just exhaustion into trend. But since the trend didn't break down, it just leads to an expansion move after a move like this. And then we delete this. And then this one here, I think I shorted this move here, just because we front run the 55K move, because we had a lot of buyers here, which obviously got sold into residing limit cells, right? So that's why I took a short around here, but then I TP'd around here, which again was a low hold, and then we could not break down again. Like you could consider this as a breakdown, but again, the thing that shifted that breakdown was again another low hold, and then you're like, okay, the trend has started to form again. The weakness we saw earlier here was not as much, and now we can continue to see another trendy move higher. And then obviously we held like this type of PA here is so clean. We have a POI, we keep tapping that, even though it's not exactly like filled, but we are holding some level of bid here, that obviously there should be some sort of bid stack, bid ask imbalance around here, and then you continue to see like we do break structures. Mostly the thing you want to see obviously is lows holding. You could see like we did not break few structures, but mostly we were holding lows again into short POIs. Like you can go back a year before on the chart and then see that obviously there would be some sort of an hourly or maybe 4 hourly rejection, like POI here. But again, the only thing that matters when price comes to your POI is how price reacts off of it. And then you keep trading the trend, and then again, you just let the trade run and run. And it's the same. I think I longed, yeah, I longed this here again. Wait, let me remove. I long this here again, and it's the same thing that I explained a bit earlier. If this is the 1 minute chart, so this is just gonna look like one candle to you. But if you're micro analyzing it on the lower, even on the lower time frame, or maybe using tick charts or T-ref, you're gonna see that this again is a series of very clean, trendy move, a slow grind, which again isn't analyzed by most people because they think this is just one candle, right? So their edge is already cut out because they think this is just candles. You can't make much of it, and then they don't understand. And again, you have to take advantage, and you get to see the same pattern, like lows hold, then we have a reaction, and then strength is you don't want to fade. You don't want to fade strength until it hit this POI here. Like this rejection here is like huge. First of all, it's liquidations combined, but it was like huge orders being filled here as well. Mostly this was liquidation of shorts. And then I was like, okay, this type of rejection is very nasty because this is again how much does it cover? 500, 600? The like a $600 move, right? A very nasty rejection, which then I updated earlier in the Asia session. I updated that I'm short 57K, and then I'm trying to TP a bit lower around 55, but then wait, let me move this a bit here. That. And then it started to just again started to show some sort of exhaustion. And exhaustion, you can obviously analyze that after like some sort of PA has formed. First of all, exhaustion can be analyzed that after a rejection, a nasty rejection like this is observed. And if you see some sort of follow-up, continuous breakdown, and then again a rejection from your POI, we got a rejection from our POI, but the more important thing here was compared to the rest of the move up, like we just saw the move up, there was rejection at POIs, but what was happening was we were trending in that POI, right? We kept breaking highs into that POI, and we did not break any sort of lows into that POI. So the thing that separated this was we just did not break higher, and again some order flow edge as well that I saw. Then again, we got break structure, and I shorted this. I think I shorted this with work hard guy, and then we continued to break down. And this TP here, I think it was someone else's TP, which I just closed. Mainly, I closed it because I was trying to long this setup here, and then I could show you why I longed the setup. The setup again was just me longing because okay, so the reason for me longing this was first of all we moved down here, we had a move down here, and then the thing that was happening was we first of all we make a series of lower highs where I was expecting that it would reject here and then continue to trend down like this, but it did not do that. And then again, obviously I don't have to short a move like this because we are again into a POI which was heavily bidded, which led to an expansion move, right? So we were in a POI like that, and then what was happening here was we started to form lows here. We started to get some sort of bid. We didn't break down, and then we did a break structure of these levels. You may ask, like, this is a break structure into an FVG, right? But the FVG is pretty broad here. So again, the thing that matters here is follow up. Sure, you could have tried to trade this type of short here, and then TP on the other POI. But the more important thing, the better trade here was again, first of all, you could either try to long here, put your stops here, or even here. But again, I don't recommend that you use very tight stops when you're trading slow grind because again, scenarios like this can happen where it takes one low, trap more and more shorts there, and then keep on trending again. And my trade idea was simply this. I wasn't watching PA here, but when I came back to the screen, price was here. It SFB'd, saw some shorts aping and then just getting faded. And I was like, okay, if this low holds one more time, I'll just ape. And as soon as I got a bid reaction here, I was like, okay, this is the reaction I want. I'm gonna put my stops below here, even though it's very tight. It's a very tight stop because again, if it comes back here, then it will mean it either takes a low or it takes my stop and it comes back up. And if it took my stop, I was doing pretty decent, right? So just managing the trade, I was doing decent because if it took my stop, I could have relonged a reclaim here and then try to make that L back because there was eventually going to be rotation back to here if he had held his low here. And then the only thing I did afterwards was TP partials around, again, this POI, which was my initial TP, and then TP'd fully because I think Carosu was also long with me to this POI. But then I didn't manage to get short here, which obviously you could. You could, again, what makes this differ from all other short POIs is that we got a follow-up and then we got a breakdown. You could either short here as well, put your stops here, and then obviously TP the other extreme POI. And that was pretty much it of how we were moving, how price was moving from till the last session. But you guys can still hear me, right?
Yep.
Yeah, if you have any questions about the price section, you can ask me. Then I'll move on to the overflow bit. Or
You
maybe type.
covered you
Yeah,
covered already what I had to answer, so no need to.
I'm sorry, what?
You covered already what I had to answer about the PA, so no need to ask anything.
Okay, then that's great. Yeah, and this type of PA is so easy to trade, right? But I think a lot of people keep missing out, mainly because they're trying to be right on their bias, and and yeah, that would be the main reason. Just people trying to be like, okay, I'm gonna short the top, I'm gonna be the right guy here, then they're gonna be shorting here, 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 and then eventually just getting blown off, right? So just sticking to one bias is and fading the trend has always been my biggest loss, and that's why I have always tried to avoid it. And it's so easy to trade this type of move because if you're longing the slow grind here, you just let the market do the thing, right? Because you're following a trend, the market is gonna do the thing for you, and then it's just gonna keep running on its own, and all you have to do is get on the right and then just enjoy, right? So that's why this type of PA, just a trendy move, is so easy. After that, after a trendy move, which obviously we talked about before, price only trends like 20% of the time, right? So it's like it's gonna trend like 20% of the time, but after the 80% is just range, right? So if you're not making money in the trendy move and you're trying to fade, then you're missing out on a very big opportunity of managing to secure bags, right? That's why I was pretty pissed that some people managed to miss this move because this type of move is so easy, and it, especially in BTC and Ethereum, it comes after weeks, maybe months sometimes. And then the overflow bit was just, again, you see a lot of any sort of nuke there was sorry, any sort of nuke that we were getting long liquidated. And then I explained the T-Rev template before. This bubble here is longs getting liquidated. This red bubble here is shorts getting liquidated. So at these lows, when price came down here, there was a bit of longs that got liquidated, and then right after they got liquidated, there was more bid that came in, which moved the price up, which formed a few bid stacks. But obviously, in a trendy move, they don't have to be filled. And you can recognize that just by waiting for price at the short PY. And if it doesn't reject from there, then you can assume that, okay, price is not gonna fill these. It's looking like it's gonna trend higher, and you can just continue to trade that trend. And you can see here as well, like any sort of move down, there was a long scanning liquidate. That just meant that there were people trying to, obviously, the only reason that we were getting these sort of flushes and more um like in the slow grind pace that we were getting, so like we have three lows here, right? And then we have one sort of um long liquidation here, which was obviously just people trying to ape more and more longs into some sort of POI, which got the rejection, and then people got liquidated at some point. But it's like there was no follow up on this type of rejection, right? That's what's important in this PA. If there is no follow up and there's lows holding or highs holding if it's a downtrend, then you just trade that PA. So again, it's so easy, yet it's a bit complicated. Like people mid curve it. The only type of people again is just it's just the IQ deviation, right? Most people that got it wrong were here, were overthinking the part where they were like, okay, it's in a short POI. Should I short it or maybe should I stuck to my bias? And the most people that kept making money were well just longing, holding the trend, seeing trade or obviously you can be right curve if you have enough knowledge of what you're looking at. Then again, it's the same thing that like a lot of lows holding more and more shorts into lows. Again, more and more shorts into lows. They keep fueling more trend. And then again, boom, there's more strength in the market. The market keeps doing the job for you. That's the thing that you have to understand. The market is gonna keep doing the job for you. You don't have to do nothing. All you have to do is just sit and ride the trend. That's how easy it is to trade this. And then I think yeah, that pretty much covers what happened in the last from our last session, how we were moving. Okay,
Hey Shini,
yeah,
yeah, I did took some trades today. Like wanted to short from over here, but market was like slow grinding, like up and up and up. So I did took a short over here and got stopped out over here. Like,
right.
and then again, like we got a market structure break,
Yeah,
and the price came again into FPG. I took a short again over here, like for the continuation lower till here, but it ran my stops like above the FPG.
right.
Then I thought like to play continuation, but like market was just running higher, higher and higher.
Where did you say you
Yeah,
were gonna play continuation?
around here. I
Continuation.
get tracked into the
Okay,
FPG,
so
right? So,
okay, so your first entry was here.
yeah, yeah,
On
yeah,
the
yeah.
first. Wait, did you try to long a move up, or did you try to? Sorry, did you try to short when it was moving up, or did you try to short after it was a rejection?
After the rejection, like we got a market structure break, right? Over
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
Yeah, so around this level.
right. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Okay, let me explain a bit here.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's like you have obviously in a very volatile environment where obviously price is just trending up, where it
yeah,
hasn't formed a range. Obviously, you're gonna see this type of fading if, sorry, this type of like getting your stops taken and liquidation if you're not seeing any sort of like breakdown, right? Again, I told you the reason I didn't like manage to get top on the short was again we didn't have much for breakdown, which could just lead to a more higher price. So you have to be wary that you need to at least see some sort of breakdown. But again, here at this point, this can be considered more of a deviation. It's a bit like if you're new to it, it's a bit hard to see. But like you saw this move up here, right?
yeah,
Which you did not see here. That was this short was the more valid one. No, just no follow up on the highs. Again, in hindsight, it looks very easy. It looks very easy to say. But obviously, this type of like high being taken and then this type of lows holding, you could obviously use order flow to your advantage. But it's just like I would personally, if I was short here, I would cut break even after I see these candles. Let me zoom in on those candles for you. So let's just say I made the decision to open a trade, right? So we are here into our POI. Let's just say I try to short the rejection here, assuming that okay, it's gonna break down, but obviously it comes to the low here. Let's just assume that I consider this as a breakdown. It came to the slow, held it slow, but then it came back up here. And what it did was it did not like break down. It went up here. And on this week here, since my stops weren't ran by this time, on this week here, I would try my best to close my trade at break even, because again, this has broken a high, right? There's more strength in bidding than there is in that specific rejection. So I'll try to get out of my short at a. So this was my entry around here. I'll try to get short, close my short around here. So I'll take the loss. And then let's just assume we saw this SFP here, and I'm like, okay, this is bearish now. I'm gonna short this here. And okay, even let's just assume we did not manage to get a short here, and we were like, okay, we broke down here and we got a break structure. I'm gonna try to play a trend down. And I explained this in the previous sessions that if you're trading a break structure, right? So there's two ways to trade a break structure, right? Either you wait for the POI above, obviously on the condition that lows are starting to hold, right? On that condition, you wait for the POI instead of trading the breakdown. But if there's like no lows holding and there's like a continuous move downwards on the breakdown level, then obviously you can short that. But here it didn't really do that because it went lower and it stripped the high as well, and then it went lower again, and then let's just assume that I made the mistake of taking a short here and then put my stops here, which again just is clearly a bad RR, right? My stops being this wide and my TP
Yeah.
being this much, because again I also have to look out for this specific FVG, right? Because it could hold as well. So my TP being very low, I'm already taking a much higher risk, right? Right, so I'm already taking a much higher risk trying to short a breakdown here. But again, after this type of move, like I mean, you wouldn't really count this as a break structure, but on microstructure, I would be wary of such sort of trend where it's like it forms a low, it sweeps the high, it comes back down, it forms a low, sorry, some sort of a high on microstructure, and it starts to like hold a low, and then it trends up, and then it comes back to that POI. And then again, I told you, if you see some sort of candles hold where there's like a bullish candle forming, there's rejection after that candle, but it's the thing that that specific candle it does not break. And if you go on the lower time frame, this PA here, it's gonna be like very slow grind up, and it's gonna look like there's been aggressive bidding at this level. And that's exactly why I would again close my shorts to minimize the loss. So in hindsight, I can't really say that I would not take the short, right? But if I did, this is how I would try to like minimize my loss.
Okay. So would you like try to chase this price like
Try
too
to
long again?
wait.
Like to play continuation, like you got stopped out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So would you like try to play the continuation like above?
Oh yeah, I would try to wait, let me clear this here. I would try to, let's just assume that we have uh a highs hold, then a low hold. We have a POI here as well. I would usually try to play, again, we have some sort of bidding here. Play this type of like trend here, long here, maybe TP for a potential higher low or the sweep here. But again, we're treating into a higher POI, which could act as an inducement. So I'll be more cautious than try to position on every move here.
Yeah, so Shini, we just had this type of like PA yesterday too, right? We had too many POIs and just price was like running like all over the POIs. And
Yeah.
yesterday, like I was pretty much cautious, like price could reject over here, but you were taking longs over these POIs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the same thing is here, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. So how would you like define these two situations? Like,
I mean,
mm,
wait, let me clear this here.
yeah,
I mean, you're comparing
yeah, yeah,
that based on this Soul POI here.
yeah,
Okay, so first of all, the move yesterday was mostly like we didn't have such a recent rejection there. So it was like we had weeks of PA and rejection, but then when we suddenly start to move up, we didn't really have such recent sort of PA there, right? The PA was from weeks ago. We didn't have such sort of like we didn't have a move like this, right? So like at every step, I would think, okay, this may reject since this
yeah, yeah,
recent PA.
yeah.
We didn't have like a recent PA like this, where this rejection happened a few hours ago, and we are still here, right? But when we were trending up, we didn't really have such a recent rejection or PA. It was mostly just weeks of PA sitting before that. So that's what is the difference here.
Okay, so you give like more of a bias to recency, like,
Yeah. Yeah, because
okay,
because the only thing that matters in such difference is between recent and previous rejections or supports is that there are still orders that are sitting here, right? So people that had shorted here, again, this rejection is pretty new, right? Because this is just a few hours ago. So there's people that have shorted here and are still sitting in that short and will continue to add, right? So
you're right,
that's
right.
a thing that can happen. And there would be again shorts here that had their stops here, which got liquidated, but then again, which they got liquidated into again limit sell. So this here is pretty pretty recent. So that's why this has more importance than all the previous rejections. But again, obviously reaction is what more matters, right? We got high here, then we sub the high here, and then we did a break structure here.
Yeah, so like I did try to long over here, like when price was holding, and then I manually just closed it around here, like to play a continuation like we played yesterday.
I'm sorry, can you
So this
repeat
what,
that?
yeah, yeah. So when I got stopped over here,
Yeah.
so I wanted to play like continuation, like you said, right? If we get stopped, then we play for the continuation,
Okay. Yeah.
right? So I did try to play continuation over here, like when I got stopped over around here. So look how price was holding around here, like bids were coming. Like I thought that price would move like above like yesterday. So but price didn't move and came back down below. So I closed it here over here like manually, and it just like
Wait,
bottomed out
so
over
you
here.
closed it before a break
Yeah,
structure.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, then I think that
But
would be
yeah, like you
mismanaged.
could just look at the move like it was like this, like not even like slow. So I just closed it out manually.
Yeah, I mean, if you're closing out, like again,
Yeah,
you have to know that when you're trying to trade a trend, you have to be more confident that okay, because if it were to like go below that low, right? So it would just confirm your bias that okay, price is already weaker. I should be more focused on shorts. So any chance I get to see a short setup, I have to take that, and that would be a better W, and that would have a much higher chance of winning than this setup that I got stopped on is.
okay, got it.
Wait, does anybody
Does,
have? Oh, yeah, go on.
no, no, I was just going to say the same thing. Like, does anybody have these questions?
Wait, Nick, why is your mic on but I can't hear anything? Is Nick even here?
Did he slept?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, it's not connected.
Yeah, if anybody else has any question, Mondo, Wayne, or Rep, do let me know or maybe type here. But I think that was pretty much it based on how we moved from yesterday and till now. And wait, let me close this. Just a moment. Yeah, this area is starting to hold these lows, but I'll still try to short a rejection. Maybe count this as an inducement rejection here. I'll try to take a trade, and then my guess would be TPing at this in case it holds a low. Again, when you're counter trading, you have to be very cautious in case it holds this low or in case it holds that low. So again, much better trades are those where you can just ape on the trend and think less, and the market just trends up and does the entire job for you. So you're much carefree on the in those trades.
So Shini, hey,
Yeah,
so let's say we would have aped over here, right? So where would you place your stops below
yeah.
this one or over here?
These one would be too wide. If the POI was like
Yeah,
If
yeah.
the POI was like, let's just say we had a low or then a low here. If the POI
Okay.
was around here, then I would, but this gap here would be too much for me. And if I'm trying to TP here, then the RR would be one, maybe 1.1.5 R. So I try to avoid that.
Okay. So hey, Shini, I was actually looking the price around here, like around this POI, but uh, I'm actually like struggling with entry models, right?
Right.
So when price around came into this POI,
Yeah,
so the reaction like was so fast, I wasn't able to catch the move, like till here.
yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I'm struggling with entry models.
Yeah, okay. I explained the
Yeah,
entry on the quick reaction.
yeah, yeah,
You see where it's like you have a POI. So if price comes into that POI and does it like a quick reaction, then there's only
yeah.
two scenarios, right? So only two scenarios where you can trade it. So I'm gonna draw the second scenario here. So the first scenario is it comes and then it gives a quick reaction, and then it like starts to trend higher, which it did here. So it made a low, it made a high, it's trending higher. So you can try to like ape on that trend, but the thing is, the risk to reward is minimized because you could expect a rejection from here as well,
Yeah, ejection
and you
point.
can
Yeah,
reject a rejection here as well. So the risk is pretty much minimized. That's why I try to ape right at the reaction, right after the reaction. And why is that? Because
okay.
obviously that's because the overall trend is just moving up. So any sort of bid, it's just again the market is doing the job for you, right? So you have to keep that in mind. So I would try to just ape on the reaction here. And if it was a short, I wouldn't have done that because again it would be counter trending. And the second scenario is like it pumps up, it goes up, and then it immediately retraces. And the thing that you want to look for is, wait, let me clear this. The thing is you want to look for is this scenario, right? So we got like a reaction from the POI. We subbed the low, we got a reaction, and then it instantly retraced. But the thing is you want to look for is like a low hold. And as soon as you see a low hold or a reaction there, you can immediately take that. And that was exactly my trade here. I saw the reaction. I think it was Iwaja I was with. I was like, okay, Iwaja, I'm gonna take the trade, and I posted in the chat as well. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
the
that
stops
was a
were,
great long
yeah, the
you
stops are
caught.
here.
Yeah.
Just let it run here. But that's how I took that long there. Nick, are you in any position right now, or is anybody else's on a long or
Hey,
your
hey Shini.
lower POI? Okay, yeah, I would try to. Yeah, what are you saying?
Yeah, you were going to like talk about some order flow stuff today.
Yeah,
So
I think it was asked that asked by his gone.
yeah.
So I was just gonna explain a detail on order flow from the absolute start, right? But it would
Okay, so
be
he
too
isn't
much.
there. Yeah.
Maybe he's in here. Like it would be like another hour session. Also, I'm
Yeah.
more inclined that this rejection may just be the top here. I feel like this may be the high here. I'm not positioned. Wait, let me open my exchange. Lower PO. I want to long your lower POI, but which one? This one, right? Yeah, I'll try to 156 one as well. Like you should watch the last session. Like Caruso explained quite a bit on TPO anomalies. That was a very good session. It was just like what how explanation of how the rotations happen if you're only looking at the TPO chart. That was a decent one.
Any did you took that shot over here? Like, are you waiting for this? Mm,
Yeah, I was muted. Okay, it took like a very low risk, 0.2, but my stops are above the high, so it's very low risk here. Again, like there's like still no breaker structure. The better trade is to if we get a breakdown, and then that would just be a very clean rotation afterwards. Well, if you have any question for me, you can let me know. I think the main topic was just to explain the overall current PA, right?
yeah, the current PA.
Well, if you don't have any questions for me right now, well then I think we can pause the session, and then maybe I'll
Yeah, we can, we can.
maybe come back late New York session to try this. But it's gonna be more of a range here, like get to next POI, and then trend maybe higher back to the 57, maybe deviate that one more time, and then retrace. But
So into the
yeah,
FPG, like
yeah, we're
higher time frame.
yeah, currently we're just like we're sitting into a very old POI, right? We are in the weekly POI, which I think I have posted a chart about it, which is like yeah, this POI here. So we are currently in a very old POI right now, and then obviously if you see some sort of distribution from 57K to like 62, then that would mean like we could potentially be in for a lower high. And I wouldn't really expect too much from that lower high, maybe till 45, 44. But that will happen in like a 2 month period, time period, or maybe three. That would be a quarterly move for me. But if it happens much sooner, then that'd be crazy. Which is exactly like what we talked about in the last session, just which is based on TPO charts and nothing else. I have already like had have a short from 57K, and I would like sell or sitting all the way to like 61. And that swing short is hedged by me just trying to scalp. So if I lose, I'll be losing my 5% of account. My subs are way a little above the overall ATH, so I would be losing just a few percentage. But overall, I'll be hedged from scalps I take on overall PA.
Great.
All right, then if you have any more questions for me, you can like tag me in the session chat. I think we've already run the session for
Yeah, sure.
half an hour and a half. Yeah.
Don't know.
Okay then.
Mm,
See you guys later.
yes, yeah.
See you.